If you ever have been to a reading and the loved one you've been hoping to hear from doesn't show up, you've probably been disappointed. I know myself as a reader, when I am asked if a specific loved one can come in, and then when they don't, I feel terrible. But unfortunately, the reader has no choice and no control over who does or does not show up. And I know for you as the client, the sitter, who if you don't have your loved one step in, you probably have a number of questions that are going through your head. Like, why aren't they here? Are they okay? Are they mad at me? Don't they love me? What's going on? And to be honest, there's a number of reasons why a loved one may or may not show up. Very often it has very little to do with you and more to do with them. Death is a hard transition for some, especially if someone has been taken quickly and without any type of notice. They are grieving for their own loss just as you are grieving for them. And their inability or their unwillingness or them not showing up may just be for the fact that they are trying to deal with their own grief and don't want to be placing any of that on you. For example, you have someone who has killed themselves and they don't want to come back and let you know that they are regretting that choice. They don't want for you to know that they are still hurting from that, and hence they don't want to burden you more than they already may have. I know my aunt, she has been devastated more than once by going to a reading because her mother, who shows up for me all the time, who shows up for my mom, her brother all of the time, never shows up for her. It's been almost 40 years and my grandmother has never shown up in a reading for my aunt. And the reason being, when I've asked my grandmother, she tells me she just thinks that it would be too much of a burden for my aunt and she would struggle and it would cause her more pain than necessarily bring any closure. And because of that, she tries to ease her loved one's burden. But then at the same point, it causes more burden. And so it's a double-edged sword. It cuts one way, but it also cuts the second. If your loved one has not shown up, please know that it doesn't mean that they don't love you. It's likely they're just going through their own things. And it doesn't mean that in the future they won't show up. When we pass, continue to evolve, we continue to grow, we continue to grieve ourselves, mourn, as well as be able to heal. And then when they are in the right place, or they feel you are in the right place, there will be that opportunity for both of you to connect and hopefully bring that closure you're hoping for. If you are one of those who your loved one hasn't shown up during a reading, I hope this brings some peace. If you do have any questions about readings, put them in the comments below and I'll be sure to address them in a future video. And if you do like my channel, be sure to subscribe and like and share with all your friends. And I will be talking to you again real soon.